Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have more than 50 men with us who have been such a big part of Penguins hockey in the Civic Arena and Mellon Arena. We'll bring them out and honor them. But first, we want to mention some of the other former Penguins who couldn't be here tonight because of their commitments with other teams. They too are a huge part of what happened right here. Let's remember and say thank you to Joe Mullen, Mark Recchi, Tom Barrasso, Ron Francis, Jaromir Jagr, Randy Carlyle, Alexei Kovalev, Ulf Samuelsson, and Rick Tocchet. Thank you, gentlemen. And now, to introduce the distinguished group of Penguins alumni here tonight, let's welcome the longtime voices of the Penguins, Mike Lang and Paul Steigerwald.
Ladies and gentlemen, to start us off on this trip down memory lane, please welcome the first general manager and first head coach in the history of the Penguins, Jack Riley and Red Sullivan.
And Jack Riley and Red Sullivan marching on the ice to a red carpet that has been set up here for these alums who are
two of the players who were here for the first
list.
NHL game in the Civic Arena on October 11th, 1967. Say hello to original Penguins Andy Bathgate and Les Binkley.
And Andy Bathgate, who scored a goal for the Penguins in their debut here at the Mellon Arena on October 11th, 1967. We'll have more on our pregame show from Jack Riley, who was the general manager about that game, now making his way out.
Four men have both played for the Penguins and served as head coach. And let's bring them out together. An exclusive club. Please welcome Ken Schinkel, Gene Ubriaco, Rick Kehoe, and Eddie Olczyk.
Pretty long list of people that have been successful in the NHL, including the great Edzo, who makes his way out, an old broadcast partner. Yeah, Edzo, thanks for the wave. Up there to the booth. Ken
The
Schinkel.
all-time winningest coach in Penguins history and the general manager who drafted Mario Lemieux. 25 years of service to the Penguins. Here is Eddie Johnston.
And EJ, as he is affectionately called, made his way to the Penguins from Chicago. He was with the Blackhawks, and the Penguins were able to get his services. And Eddie, of course, then left and went to the Hartford Whalers and came back to the
whose
Bears.
ties here date all the way back to the 1960s. Please welcome Dwayne Rupp and former team captain Ron Schock.
And Ron Schock, a former captain of the Penguins. Dwayne Rupp, who still lives in the area, and Ron Schock.
You can't talk about Penguins history without talking about the century line. Welcome back to Pittsburgh, Sil Laps, Jean Pronovost, and Lowell McDonald. And the Prony asked if he could hear, "Let's go Pronovost," one more time.
Three terrific guys. Sil Laps, Lowell McDonald, and John Pronovost.
Classy and talented defensemen from the 1970s. Here are Dave Burrows, Ron Stackhouse, and Mario Faubert.
And I might mention that all the players that are coming out to the red carpet and walking to the Penguin bench, they're in from the Zamboni entrance, are all wearing their jerseys, the new jerseys, but with their names on it. And
Here
their
are some of the
respective numbers.
toughest defensemen ever to play for the Penguins. Brian Bugsy Watson, Bob Paradise, Kim Claxon, and Denny Ochar.
Some pretty good power there in what was announced as they make their way.
Only 7 players in Penguins history have scored 50 goals in a season, and these talented centers belong to that select group. Say hello to Pierre LaRouche and Mike Bullard.
2 50-goal scores, Pierre LaRouche, Lucky Pierre, and the Bullet, Mike Bullard. They had a big dinner last night.
3 forwards who all performed offensive heroics for the 1970s Penguins. Here are Greg Malone, Greg Polis, and George Ferguson.
And the Fergie Flyer, who still lives in Pittsburgh. Greg Malone also. Back and forth from Tampa Bay, where he is doing some work for that organization.
3 of the toughest guys to ever pull on the Penguins uniform. Don't make these guys mad. Here are Jay Caulfield, Mark Kachowski, and Francois Leroux.
And all 3 of these players being introduced all live in the Pittsburgh area. It's amazing how you're drawn to this area when you play here.